So most of the feedback that I have for you on this was either information that you figured out and determined while you were running this, or that B told you about and barked at you for. So a lot of the stuff, we'll go ahead and run through this, but a lot of the stuff I think is stuff you already know. On the backside serps, I would have had a tendency, given her jumping, to do them more as serpentine pushes rather than just serpentines. If we go back to that first one, you can see based on how far away you stood from the plane of the jump, so kind of here being the plane of the jump, you running parallel way back here, that she had a lot of liberty in terms of her landing. Also, if you add on the push, so she has to go around through the upright and then you go this direction, as though you're maybe going to a tunnel up there, a jump up there, it's going to force you to be further ahead. And when you have to be further ahead, so now you have to be here or up here when she jumps versus back here, it's going to force you to trust the backside more, which is kind of the whole point of this, is to get the dog exposed to different angles, but to get you building your backside verbal. So there was a few, I think, near the end that you end up doing a serpentine push, but a lot of these you just do a regular serpentine. This angled bar here, very good decision based on her jumping effort. You can see that she's not really curling, and the lack of curls on these are all a result of her not coming past that inside upright. So basically what that's going to mean is a lot of bend and double bend recall work for her. So that would be something you can put on your list and submit videos I'd love to see. But the other thing that I probably would do for her is I would put some kind of prop right here. Now, these are clip and go jumps. Clip and go actually makes a shaping prop. So basically it's like a weave pole wire, and it's like a U, and it goes from this one to this one, and it forces the dog to kick out wide to come through. So basically instead of her coming around, she's getting to kind of right here, and then her only option is to jump on a slice. It forces the dog around. You're hoping she gets to here, and then now when she jumps in, she comes in that direction. So they make a device for this. I'm not sure that you need to go that far. I would just put like a big pylon or a big cone right here, or a barrel. I know you've been seeing me use as barrels if you have something like that. And I basically want to see what happens if you force her out and around to shape that. Because she's just wanting to slice so much. There's one in a little bit here where you said it's her best one and you don't know why. I would agree with you on that one. I don't know why it was so nice, meaning why on that one she made the decision. But what makes it really nice, and we'll just slow down these and kind of compare, is it's one of the few where she brings her shoulder past the inside upright. So if we judge this is the inside upright, in order for a dog to bend, in order for a dog to curl, they must bring their front feet past the inside edge before jumping. Well, as you see, when she jumps, right there's her front feet, so I'll put a circle there, and then she takes off. So because you can't teleport directly through the wing, the only place for her to go on this is on an angle that direction, and that's why she lands over here. All right, so if we connect those two, that's going to be the line. If she comes up to this point, now she can jump that way because there's no wing in her way. So that one that was nice, why it was nice was because she actually came past. I'll slow it down when we get there. But I guess the question of what made her do that on that one, I'm not really sure. The other thing that happened that you caught yourself in here was a good example of that, is there were several where you were late cueing the backside. I want to hear you cueing that backside before she exits the tunnel. She should exit the tunnel knowing exactly what she should be looking for. So if you say nothing and do nothing, that's going to cause her to come out very handler focused. You can see she comes in and barks at you, and then you actually made the comment of, I know, I was late. So that's why I say a lot of these, you know what you needed to do. Either you figured it out or she told you, but try to get that verbal out before she exits the tunnel. So here you start to do a little bit of a push, right? So you do come over on the takeoff side, probably not as much as you ultimately could, or if you had been working harder to do that, just because like here you're still on the landing side when she takes off, and I want to see you pushing through on the takeoff side. So that would be something that, not enough of a reason to go out and redo it, but something to, if you do this again, to keep in mind. Also not something that I think is a huge problem, but I just want to go on record saying she's getting a little bit naughty about her, well, naughty's maybe not the right word. She's getting very pushy. That's a better word. This is B we're talking about here. Pushy with her toy control. And I actually think that she's making decisions to go for that toy before you've cued it. You're not being ultra consistent with your toy marker, which is why I say she's not really being naughty. But I do think it's starting to affect her looking at the jump and looking at the toy and going for the toy while she's over the bar. which I think you have to watch affecting her jumping. But like here, you can see her mouth right here going for the toy. So before she's landing, she goes for it. And you don't even cue it. I'm not even sure how ready you were. And she's going for it and body slamming. Makes me laugh into you on that. So a Sheltie who wants to work for a toy is never anything I want to correct. I guess the biggest thing I'm telling you is if she tries to go for a toy when you're not prepared for it, you can't really get on her unless you're going to clean up your toy control. And if you see her do a really funny jump, make sure it wasn't because she was jumping crappy or jumping poorly, because she was going for the toy, since she's getting a little naughty on that. So I think her good jump's coming up here. And I want to take a look at that one. Again, you're starting to switch over to some of those serpentine pushes, which are better. All right, here's the good one. I agree with you. I don't know why, but watch the striding. So we're going to slow-mo this as she comes around. So she comes around here, and then right here, if you recall the other one I slowed down, that was exactly where her front feet were before. And I drew all the arrows and talked about how she went over that direction. But watch on this one. She takes one more. So now when we draw the edge, the inside edge, because her front feet came past that magic line, that inside edge that we talked about, now she's going to give you a really pretty jump. So this is actually a phenomenal demonstration. Now she's jumping in a trajectory back that direction, where again, if she takes off here, she can't teleport, so she goes this direction. A phenomenal example of what I'm talking about on these wraps. And this is true whether we're talking like a front side wrap or a backside wrap, where the dog has to pull that inside shoulder past the inside upright in order to get that jumping effort. And I'll say this here, if anybody else is listening, it's not really super relevant, but if you want, Jean, I would absolutely love if you could cut out and send me a video of this one, if you still have just this single rep, and then one of the other ones, one of the other slices where she wasn't so nice. Any of the, if I say crappy ones, I say that with a term of endearment, one of the crappy ones, because it would be an awesome side-by-side to have, and just talking about the comparison there. Okay, so going forward on, we're getting into these ones where she really has to cross the face of the jump and kick to the backside. I want you to work towards not having to go quite as far in on the bar, particularly when you're coming, really parallel and all the way across the face of the jump. When you have to come that deep up, you start putting pressure on her line, and now she's going to add strides to go around you. So this one right here. You're going to have to come up to that far wing. You're going to have to be on the dog's path for this, right? You have to be up here to go 360 degrees this way. So the dog is going to kick around you out of the tunnel. But when you do the same angle but with a slice, I want you to try to get to the point, it's not going to happen overnight, but get to the point where you can stay on the plane, so you're actually way back here, and send her all the way up. Because again, if we come back, let's say you're here, all right, she had to come out of that tunnel and go around you to get to the backside. So it's going to mean more work on the verbal and building more independence, but I think it's going to give you faster and better lines and help you get further ahead. Go back and watch that one of high five, because I really tried to stay right on the plane, which basically meant that you're sending the dog to the backside the entire width of the jump. So if you're talking, 18-inch wings and a 4-foot bar, you're sending them 7 feet out to that backside. And I think she's fully capable of learning this. So just something to save you a little bit of yardage and help you get ahead, faster times, all that. So again, a lot of stuff but easier to throw in a side-by-side and point some of those things out, especially that bending, jumping effort. So good work on this.